Very good morning, respected parents and my dear students. I welcome you and congratulate for being promoted to class 12th for the session 2020-2021. As you all know, the coronavirus COVID-19 is defining global health crisis of our time, and now the virus has spread to every continent. Countries are in the race to slow the spread of the virus while testing and treating patients, limiting travels, and quarantining citizens. Children, as you all know, it has the potential to create devastating social, political, and economic crises that will leave deep scars behind. Now, to face the rising problem, we need to become more challenging and follow the instructions of the government as well as the parents to keep ourselves healthy and sound. I request you all to be positive to fight the rising problem so that soon we would be able to overcome. I wish you all to be positive, stay strong, and try to improve your immunity. Children, our school has decided to provide you online lessons, so we, the teachers, are putting in the best efforts to deliver online lectures so that you may get benefited out of it. So, in my first lesson, I decided to take up the poem of your textbook, Flamingo, My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das. Children, I would like to tell you, I would be covering the following areas. First, the thoughts of the poet, followed by the introduction of the poem, then the briefing of the summary and the explanation. So let me proceed with the thoughts of the poet. The poetess Kamla Das is an Indian woman born on 31st March 1934 at Malava, Kerala. She is recognized as one of India's prolific writers. Her works are known for the originality and the indigenous flavor of the soil. She has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the pen name Madhavi Kutty. As a child, she was deeply influenced by her uncle Nalapat Narayan Menon, who was also a writer, and her mother Nalapat Balamani Amma. Children, Kamla Das took to writing at an early age. After marriage, she was encouraged to write by her husband. Though it was not an easy task to continue to write due to household responsibilities, so to fulfill her desire, she often wrote at night when her family would be asleep. Most of her works are replete with the women's deep longing for self-expression and freedom. She authored a number of books, novels, short stories. Some of her eminent writings are a novel, Alphabet of Lust, published in the year 1977, a collection of short stories called Padmavati the Harlot, and other stories. In addition to this, she has written 5 poetry books. A few are Summer in Calcutta, The Descendants, and The Soul Know How to Sing, etc. Children, she shot into fame with the publication of her autobiography, My Story, published in the year 1976. Now, children, what do you mean by autobiography? It is an account of a person's life written by oneself. And biography means written by some other person. With this, I would like to move ahead towards the introduction of the poem and briefing of the summary. Children, my mother at 66 is a beautiful reflection of Kamala Das' sensitivity as a writer. It highlights her deep understanding of the complexities of human relationships and explores the pain and agony of an aged mother. The poem brings home the theme that aging is a natural process and is going to wrap one and all. In our young days, we are so involved in our fulfillment of the personal desires that we forget to love and take care of our elderly parents. The poem brings home the point that none can escape aging. The poem also highlights the compulsion of life where one has to forego one relation for another due to the demands and social and personal obligations. Now, I would like to brief you the summary. Poet Kamala Das, along with her mother, was driving to the Cochin airport as she has come to visit her old mother. After spending few days with her parents, she is going to Cochin in a car to take a flight home from there. Her aged mother accompanies her for a see-off to the airport. So, on the way while driving, suddenly she glances at her mother and finds her doors off, and the poet looks at her intensely. The mother's pale and loosely open mouth looks as lifeless as a dead body. Children, unable to look at her mother's deathly pale face for long, the poet wearily looks out of the car window to drive away the painful thought that cropped in her mind. The mother's pale face looks like a carcass. Now, unable to gaze at her mother's deathly pale face for long, the poetess looks out through the window of the car and she sees whizzing trees and the merry children rushing out in knots to play. Now, what do you mean by knots? Knots. Knots is a unit of speed. That means the children were speedily running out of their houses to play. This sight makes her realize about the old age and the inescapable decay of human life, particularly her mother's. The uncanny fear, children, uncanny fear means this extraordinary fear that gripped her. Looking at her mother's physical decay and imminent death, she was deeply grieved. As she reaches the airport after the security check is done, she once again glances at her mother's pale and colorless face. So, by now, children, the poetess has described her mother twice. First, while she sees her dozing off, sitting beside her. Now, the second time when she's describing her mother is after the security check. She takes a second look at her mother's pale and colorless face, which resembles the winter's moon, for it is foggy and misty, ready to wither away at any moment. The narrator's childhood fear of leaving her mother alone and unattended haunts her once again. Her apprehension means worry. Apprehension that she may not be there for long grips her mind, but still she cannot discontinue her journey as she has many other matrimonial responsibilities to undergo. Even her words, the parting words, "See you soon, Amma," seem ironical to her, for she is not sure how soon she would be able to see her again, as she was worried that during her next visit would she be able to meet her mother or no. However, she veils all her worries and anxieties behind her long, sweet, though hollow smile and bids her mother a cheerful see off with a hopeless assurance of meeting her again soon. So, children, with this we end the briefing of the summary. Now, I would like to explain you the poem. So, let me begin reading the poem. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain. Now, children, as I had already briefed you that the poetess Kamala Das has come to visit her parents, and after staying for a few days, she is returning back to her parents' house. So, her mother, who is 66 years old, is accompanying her for a see-off to the airport on last Friday morning. So, while the poetess was driving, the mother was just sitting beside her. Suddenly, she glances at her mother and she finds her doors open-mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse. Now, in these lines, the poetess Kamala Das is trying to describe her mother sitting beside her on the seat. So, doze here means a short nap, as she was 66 years old. She was feeling weak. She was lacking the energy. So, she was having a short nap and with an open mouth. Her face appeared pale and deathly, just like the ash. Okay? Ash means the dust of the firewood. Okay, children? And thus she compares her mother's deathly pale face to that of a corpse. Corpse means dead body. And realized with pain, because she was looking very pale, colorless due to illness. She appeared lacking energy, lack of the radiance. Now, she was agonized. The poetess was agonized to see her mother's weak, fragile face. Now, she thought of, driving away the rising thought or the cropping up thought in her mind, and thus decided to look out through the window of the car. See here, she thought away and looked, but soon put that thought away. See here, children, there's a repetition of the expression here. She thought away, and again in the next line, put that thought away. Okay? So now, as the thought cropped up in her mind, that painful thought that a mother is now aging and she's looking very pale and weak. You know, the children do have a very closely knitted bond with the mothers. So same was with poetess Kamala Das. So she was very grieved to see her mother's painful condition, and thus to divert her mind, she looked out through the window and looked out at young trees sprinting. Children, here there's a imagery used. Okay, young trees sprinting and the merry children spilling out of their homes. Here the poetess has implied two imageries. First one is young trees sprinting. Now I would like to tell you, young trees sprinting is also here the literary device used, which is known as personification. Sprinting means running or moving. I would love to say you that trees do not run. So what is personification? Personification is the inanimate objects, okay, having the living emotions or the living traits. So here, when the poetess has used these two images here, imagery here, young trees sprinting, I would like to tell you, while she was driving the car, it appeared, she assumed as if the trees were moving. You know, when the cab moves ahead, or the cab is speedily moving ahead, so what do we find? We see that everything that passes by appears to move quickly. So same was with the trees when she was driving to the Cochin airport. So now here, the trees moving quickly imply to the passage of time. You know, she feels that her mother too would have been young at a certain period of time of her youth, but now as she's 66 of her age, so now that reflects that she's grown old, and the sprinting trees here imply to the passage of time. The second imagery used here is the merry children spilling. Now, merry children spilling here means the happy children, the joyful children. Here, the poetess want to reflect the vigor, the energy of the children who are young, full of zeal and enthusiasm to perform various sort of activities. So they are spilling out of their homes happily, speedily to play outdoor games with their friends. So as they reached, another thing I can even explain you here is that these two imageries have been used as a contrast. It has been used as a contrast, young trees sprinting as well as the children spilling out. It is a contrast for the mother. Like the mother is lying open mouth, pale, lacking the energy, appears to be withered and decayed, whereas the young children spilling out of the house are full of energy and vigor. Okay, it is a contrast here reflected. And the sprinting trees here is implied to reflect the passage of time. So now, after reaching the airport, after the airport's security check. Now, children, what do you mean by security check? See, once before taking the flight, a security check is done where they check your passport, weigh your luggage, as well as your IDs and other formalities are done there. Okay? So after the security check, once again, the poetess decided to have a look for the second time at her mother. So she says, I looked again at her wan, pale as a late winter's moon. Now here this is the second time the poetess is going to describe her aged mother. So when she looked at her wan pale, wan means that yellowish face. Wan means the colorless face. Pale is weak and wan is the face. It appeared to her as a late winter's moon. As late winter's moon, here is a simile used by the poet Kamala Das. So now children, I would like to ask you, how would you explain this simile used as a late winter's moon? You all know during winters, due to extreme cold, the moon's radiance is generally veiled by the fog, extreme fog and mist. Okay? And the moon appears to be dull and faded. So, the poetess has compared the weak, lifeless, deathly face of her mother to that of the late winter's moon that loses its radiance. In the similar manner, the poetess mother has also lost her youth and appears to be deadly and decayed. Okay? And appears to wither at any moment. Now, as she looked at her mother with a pale and weak face, she felt that old familiar ache. Now, children, there's an expression here, familiar ache. So, what do you mean by this familiar word? Familiar, as I told you, see, the theme of the poem is separation and fear of losing her mother. This fear of losing her mother gripped her since her childhood. So now here, when the poet uses the expression familiar ache, is feeling the similar pain that she had felt when she was a child of losing a mother or separating from her mother. So once again, now after she has grown older, she is feeling the similar pain once again, because she now feels though she wants to stay back and take care of her mom and she wants to spend some more togetherness with her, she is unable to do that as she has to leave for her husband's house or to her own house. So my childhood's fear, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. So she is trying to hide her pain, her grief of parting from her mother. So her parting words here, see you soon, Amma, reflect the quality of the narrator, that the narrator is very optimistic Okay? And looking at the brighter side of life with a view that she would soon be meeting her mother. So, what the poetess did, she's saying, all I did was smile and smile and smile. See, children, here again there's a repetition used, okay? And you have to understand very well the repetition used here. The word is 3 times used: smile, smile, and smile. Now, children, the first smile is reflecting here her realization. Her realization means the first time that she has used the word smile, that reflects her realization. What is that realization? When she was a child, she had the fear that she may lose her mom, or one day she has to part from her mother. And now she has grown up, and once again, when she has to leave her mother alone in this condition and go to her own house, she is realizing that similar pain, that how painful it would be to separate from her mother. Now, the second smile here, when she used the second word, once again the same word, smile, she is trying to keep up a brave front, children. She is trying to keep up a brave front here. She knows, though she is wanting to stay back to take care of her mom, but she is unable to do that because she now does not want to show her pain, her grief to her mom, because if her mother sees tears in her eyes, she would also be grieved to look at her daughter's pain. So that is why the poetess is trying to keep up a brave front, and she doesn't wish to show her pain to her mother because she does not want to cause any more grief to her. And the third time when the poetess has used the word smile, it is reflecting a hope. Though she know that her mother is aged, but still she gives her an assurance that she would be able to see her mother. And here she reflects the hope to see her mother soon, though again there is somewhere a fear that maybe during her next visit she may not be alive. But still she gives her the assurance that we would be meeting once again soon. So now, children, with these words, smile and smile and smile, the poetess with a positive note bids farewell with a hopeless assurance of meeting her mother again. Okay, children? Because though she is willing to discontinue her journey and to stay some more time with her, but she is unable to do that because now she is married and she has other responsibilities too. So this poem, it is a poignant expression of the fear. It also brings out views on inescapable aging, decay, and ultimate end. And now, children, see you soon, Amma. You know, these parting words, these seem ironical to her. Okay, why? Why it is irony? She's saying she would soon be meeting her, but actually, how is she assuming this moment that she is not sure how soon she would be able to see her mother, and also if the mother would be alive so long till her next visit. So here there's an irony used here. Okay, children? So now, in the board examination, few important questions are asked, like, why did the poet start looking out? What does her gesture suggest? Okay, children? And another question is, explain one pale as a late winter's moon. The third one can be, what could have been the poet's childhood fears? I would like to give you one more question which you can write it yourself. Why are the young trees described as sprinting? Okay, children? So, with this, we end the explanation of this poem. I wish you all good luck. Stay safe and take care of yourself.